No, I made that joke again. Yes, we're already live. Welcome everybody to the Daily Download episode
28.
128. Yes, 128. I am Boca Ben.
I'm Melanie, Artemis League.
And yes, welcome to the Daily Download, where 5 days a week we are going through all the news, stories, scandals, commentary, analysis in the esports, gaming, blockchain, and beyond world. If you have never tuned in before, this show, as well as many great shows, are available to be viewed on demand, live and on demand at ritualmotion.com. So check out all of them. We also want to give a shout out to our Creators on the Block conference, which is March 2nd. Uh, Pretty much most of the day. So it's going to be a full day of blockchain, play to earn, crypto, metaverse, creator economy, NFTs, and so much more. And last but not least, these stories that we're talking about and many more come from the daily download from rexopportunity.com. So you can get all the stories that we get in our inbox, in your inbox, in one shot. So please check out rexopportunity.com to subscribe. And we got to run through these. So, Melanie, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, so kind of 2-for-1 in this story is that Nintendo is going to be stopping the Wii U and 3DS eShop purchases in 2023. That includes purchasing both premium titles and free content, but you may re-download any content you already have. Along with Microsoft is retiring Xbox Live services on Windows phones. Both of these are citing that basically this is old technology and they have to get rid of some of the stuff. So not super surprising, but definitely something that we are sad if you're only using those. And
Yeah, no, I was, it brought up those great memories that there was a Windows Phone kind of in the same category as Mixer in these great idea Microsoft projects that didn't really amount to anything. But it makes sense. Wii U came out in late 2010. So essentially, the developer is supporting that online ecosystem for a solid decade. I think that's really the right amount of time. I think 5 years is kind of too short. 10 seems like it's ample. And that probably should be kind of a good rule of thumb for how long a developer would support an old console and system.
yeah, and from my experience with owning older consoles, I bet a lot of the games already phased out and weren't supported on those anyways. So not not probably that surprising.
Yeah, not too many upset Wii U and Nintendo 3DS users today, or Windows Phone users. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, Spotify is acquiring two major podcast tech platforms. So they're not necessarily acquiring the podcast, but they are acquiring marketing and ad attribution companies. Uh, not all the prices and information have been disclosed, but I find this interesting that they're making these big moves after a lot of superstars are saying they're removing their content from Spotify.
yeah, hey, I think anytime Spotify has an announcement that doesn't have to do with Joe Rogan, it's a win. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, they got to be happy about that. And yeah, I think it's the playbook sounds like very much the way Amazon sort of built around Audible and acquiring those assets, and makes sense. Spotify is going to do the same.
Yeah. NASCAR launches eNASCAR College iRacing Series with NACE Star League. So it's going to be open to over 500 colleges and universities. They already have sponsors lined up, like big sponsors, Coca-Cola, Playseat, Logitech. So that's kind of a big announcement on top of them already supporting FaZe Clan and a few other esports initiatives.
Yeah, listen, it's our team is in NASCAR as well. I think it's not just a win for NASCAR having a sort of collegiate league. I think it's a win for the college students because typically the collegiate scene is dominated by pretty much 5 games across the board. Rocket League, League of Legends, a little bit of Overwatch. What am I forgetting?
Valorant.
Valorant, Hearthstone. What else is the top collegiate? Yeah, like that's pretty much it. Maybe Smash in some areas. So there isn't really a lot of variety if you're sort of outside of the tier one esports. So that's where I like that this community, which does tend to be a little bit older, the racing community, um, is now going to be able to facilitate getting college students in and competing. And I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and I hope with the announcement of the sponsors in the college realm, it's going to help get more programs and colleges money to support esports or esports clubs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great announcement. Last,
Last one, Pittsburgh Knights set to host over 200 esports events in 2022. That's a lot.
yeah, and you know what? These aren't, huge prize pools, big mega events. I went through the list, and it's really a ton of community events. So in one way, it's not really that big of an announcement because these events are kind of small. But I think
Mm.
hey, it's good that it is newsworthy that there's going to be so many events. I think almost all of them look like they're free to enter, and range in Apex, a lot of shooter games, whole bunch of stuff. So
Oh, we forgot
Rocket League.
Apex in your listing. So, yeah.
Oh, for college, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a great announcement, and I know a lot of the guys at that organization, so I think it's great. And believe it or not, that is it. Really slow news day. There must have been something else. Any questions from the from Twitter, or do you want to make one up from Twitter?
um, I don't. You put me on the spot. My brain went just completely blank. But I'm curious. For me, I don't know enough about NASCAR racing and what that looks like for the esports side. Is it like you're the driver and going through? What does that look like?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think what's really amazing about NASCAR or just racing in general is that it's the only esport where those skills actually translate to the real thing. Like I could be really great at Madden and would never be able to translate those skills onto
Yeah.
the football field and kick a field goal, throw a touchdown. And the same thing even with shooting games, even though you may have good aim on a controller, it pretty much doesn't translate to anything in the real world. Racing is so much like the real thing that drivers who compete at the highest levels in the E series could actually get into a real car on the road and compete and be successful. And we've seen that before where E racers have gone on the road and have had tremendous success. So that to me is so cool that the two are so intertwined, and that's why the realism, I think it makes it such a really awesome scene.
Okay, I need to learn more about it. I will click on the link in my email and learn more about eNASCAR.
Yes, check that out. So I think that's okay. Short news day. It's all good. It
Yeah.
happens. We don't invent the news. We're just reporting on it. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Feel free, even after this broadcast, if you have any comments, questions, drop them in the chat. We're always gonna come back and chat and talk to
Yeah.
you guys. And don't forget to go to ritualmotion.com and you can watch this whole episode and many more that aren't on LinkedIn. So thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your day. Now there's the awkward 3 seconds before I hit end.